Hello unique device, you all are welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make beret with a sequence material. So guys, stay tuned for the tutorial. So guys, the first thing we'll be doing is to draft our pattern, and this pattern I'll be using this light gum stay, yes, and the length and width measures 12 inches. So I'll be using this to form a circle pattern. So guys, watch the way I will get it. First of all, I'm going to fold it into half. This is the first way to get your circle pattern. Normal way of cutting flay, yes, then you fold it again. It's quite an easy one. Divide your material into two, then you fold again, okay? Then once you're done doing this, what else I'll be doing is I'll be using my measuring tape to mark out the half of 12 inches, which is 6 inches. Please note the reason why I'm doing 12 by 12. This is the standard measurement for beret, okay? Yes, this standard measurement for beret. Most of my clients don't really want it to be too big, so I've been using this for quite time now. So this normal measurement I'll be using, and found out that this is also the standard measurement. If you want to increase yours, you can do 13, 14, but I've been using 12 and it's quite okay for me, okay? So I'll be marking out 6 inches. After dividing it this way, you mark out 6 inches round with your measuring with your measuring tape, and once you're done doing this, you also cut it out with your scissors. Alright, after marking out, you can see how mine looks. So use your pair of scissors and cut out that part. Please, if this is hard for you, use your pen to trace those dots together to form a line. But I don't see the reason, I can't really see a need for doing that. I'm okay with it this way. And you can see I formed my circle shape, okay? Alright, next thing I'll be doing is I'll be using my sequin material. This material is a shiny sequin, so the length also measures 12 inches length by 12 inches width. The same method of cutting and the same method I used in cutting out that circle shape, that's something I'll be doing here as well. So we'll be using same method to form your own circle shape on this sequin material. Guys, making a beret is quite an easy one. What you just do for me is to pay close attention. Take note of these sides. Please don't mark from this end that is open. Mark from this side that is closed, okay? So note, it is not a must you do that first part. That's getting your pattern and you draft it using your gum stay is not a must. So you can also get your circle shape by just marking the way I'm doing now. Don't know if you get me. It's not a must you will use gum stay or cardboard or paper to get your pattern. It's not a must, please. You can just fold your material straight forward, you understand, and do what I just did, mark and cut. Or you also use your pattern just this way and cut. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So using this is optional. Marking on your material and cutting out straight out is also accepted. All depends on how you want it, but I'm just showing you guys. For me, I don't use pattern anymore. But for the benefit of beginners, I decided to use pattern here, so you see how I use this. All right, so I'm going to cut out this sequin, 2 pieces, just the way I did, and I'm using this material for the lining. This is a non-stretchy fabric, though a shiny one. I got it from one of these tailor's shop. I don't know the name of this material, that's the truth, but it's a shiny non-stretchy fabric. So I'll be setting this aside, and I want to form another pattern. So let me show you what to do next. Just take this pattern, this the first one you cut out, mark 3 inches. 3 inches. Guys, please note, I marked 3 inches here, and I forgot that I'm using a stretchy fabric, that my velvet is stretchy, so it became too big. You still see the outcome in the video later. So I will advise you, if your material is stretchy, this place I'm marking 3 inches, mark 2.5. Mark 2.5 if you are using a stretchy fabric. But if you are not using a stretchy fabric, maybe if you are using an Ankara or any fabric that is not stretchy, just mark 3 inches. But once you are using a stretchy fabric, guys, use 2.5. I don't even understand me. So use your scissors and cut out that part to mark 3 inches. Alright guys, so you can see the outcome. I've marked that part, I've cut out that part, I marked 3 inches. So I'll be doing the exact thing I did here to this, the sequence fabric and the other one I'll be using for lining. Okay, it's the exact thing I did on that pattern. I'll be doing it on the sequence and the other fabric. So just watch closely and see how I get mine. At this point, I just want to show you how you're going to place your pattern, and you cut out from here. Okay, you can place your pattern this way and cut out, or remember I told you the pattern is optional, or you just use your measuring tape, use your pen or tailor's chalk, then mark 3 inches. Once you're done marking, you use scissors and cut out. The reason why I'm showing you this is just to prove that it's not a must to have pattern. For those that think that you must use your pattern to achieve your beret, no, you mustn't. All you have to do is just cut your pieces. After cutting out your 2 sequin fabric, you cut your 2 fabric for lining it, then just pick one of the sequins and one of the lining, then you mark out this way. Okay, so once I'm done doing this, you're going to do the exact thing I just did now. I'm going to do same thing to this fabric that I'll be using for the lining. Okay, all right, and this is the outcome. You can see the way it looks. This is the sequence fabric. I'm done cutting out that 3 inches. Please don't forget, if you're using a stretchy fabric, cut 2.5. Cut 2.5. I forgot that I really forgot that I'm using sequence fabric. When I finished the video, I placed on my head and it was too big. I said, God, thought I'm working with Ankara. I forgot. So I don't want you to make such mistake. Though for some people that their hair circumference is big, from 24 upwards or 23, it might not really be too big for them. But as for me, my hair circumference is 22 inches. It was big. All right, so I placed it on top of each other. You can see it. I placed it this way, making the right side facing each other, and I used my pin to hold it down so that when I take it to my sewing machine, it will not move. So I'll be doing same thing on this other one. You can see I've placed on top of each other and I'll be sewing round. All right, guys, the next fabric I'll be working with is light pad. Some people call it word embossed. It's light pad. Look at it very well. You can see the way it is. It's not thick. For those that are into fascinator making, what we use for molding, this is the exact thing, light pad, but this particular one is light. It's not thick, just like the one we normally use for molding fascinator. So I did same process, cut it into 2, then get my first one that I measure 6 inches and the other one that I later cut out 3 inches. The shape will tell you that I did exact same thing. So once you're done doing everything, I'm going to place it on this sequin. Please watch closely. Whatever I'm doing, you understand it. The first light wording that doesn't have hole is under, while this top one that has hole is on top. I don't know, you can see it clearly. What next I'll be doing now is to start pinning down. I'll use my pin to hold it down. Okay, the essence of using wording for this project is to make it stand firm. What do I mean by standing firm? I don't know if you have seen some beret that when you wear on your head, it will stand outrightly, like every edge will stand firm. If you move it to your front, it will move to the front. If you move it to the side, it will move to the side. That's the essence of putting your wording. It will stand firm. But if you don't want it to stand out firm, guys, no need putting your wording. Okay, but I had to attach my own wording so it will stand well. So I've sewn it round. You can see the outcome. So I've removed the top pin, the pin I put on top, and I'll be removing this one inside. This is that first pin that I used in holding the first sequence. I don't know if you understand me. Please don't forget your pin inside your work. Please don't do so. All right, so once you're done doing that, you'll be using your scissors to cut out the excess. Then after doing that, you'll be trimming the edges this way. Please be very careful here. Very, very careful so you don't rip off the edge of the beret. I don't know if you understand me. Be very careful while cutting the edges. The reason for cutting that edges is to flatten the edge of this circle part. If you don't cut it, it won't really flatten. Don't know if you understand me. Please also use scissors to bring out the edges of the beret. All right, next I'll be working on is that thing that normally pop out on your beret, and this fabric measures 3 inches length by 4 inches width, 3 inches length by 4 inches width. Then the 4 inches part, I'll be folding it into two. You can see that 4 inches part, the part that measures 4 inches, that's what I will be folding this way. Yes, then I will wrap it inside. Please try to tighten your hand while doing this, not just ordinary folding. That's why I made the width to be 3 inches. Just try to tighten it. You try as much as you can to make it tight while folding it up, okay? Then once you are done with that, you are going to sew from the tip. Please, you can see the way I'm adjusting it. If you don't make it to be tight, it won't stand firm on your turban, on your beret. So make sure you tighten it, then you sew from this tip down. All right, I'm done sewing. You can see the way it is. Then I didn't sew this part because I'll be cutting this part off. That's the reason. The essence of making it to be 3 inches is so it will fold very well. All right, once you're done doing that, you're going to use a measuring tape and mark, just trace, as in with your measuring tape, cut out 1.5 inch, 1.5, 1.5, then you trim it off. Then this part that measures 1.5, that's what I'll be using to tack on top of my beret. Okay, you can see it will be on top this way. Don't know if you understand me. All right, next thing I'll be doing now is to locate the center of the beret. I'm going to fold it this way. This is the first part. I'm going to fold it this way and fold again. Yes, everything about beret is folding, folding, folding. Yes. So you're going to fold for the final time, then use your pin or your shock and mark it out, but I prefer using pin. Once you just point it this way, it will give you the center of this beret, and I'll be using that stuff that I cut out, that 4 inches and 3 inches. You can see the way it is. I'll be tacking it to the center of this beret with my needle and thread. Yes. All right, so guys, just watch the way I do my tacking. So guys, next thing I'll be doing now is to attach the lining this way. I didn't turn it out, but you can see it's the rough part that is still facing me. I didn't turn it out. Just place it inside the beret this way, then use your pin to hold it down before sewing with your sewing machine. And please guys, subscribe to my channel if you are new to this channel, and if you like any of my videos, don't hesitate to hit on the like button. Yes, please support your girl. All right, so next thing I will also be doing is to use pin to hold everything down, just the way I'm doing, and I use my scissors to trim the excess part out. You can see what I'm doing now. I'm trimming off those excess parts, and here I used pin to hold this particular part down. Just use pin or use shock to not tear down. You can see the pin there, okay, because I want to measure the tip of this beret. That's why I put pin there. So I started from that where pin is, or you use your shock it's still allowed. Just mark out a point, start from that point and start measuring round, measure it round till you stop at that point, that same point you started. Guys, please note, this point I'm holding, once you observe that you finish taking your round measurement at this open point and it's like 20 inches or 21 inches, once your head circumference is up to 22 or 23 inches, it won't enter. I would advise you to put this beret like this on your head. You will observe that it will not enter. So what you will do is also use your scissors to trim it open more, but don't trim much, just trim it open more. And once you add more allowance, like when you open it more with your scissors, you test it on your head again, and once it enters, take your measurement round, you get like 22 or 23 inches. Please don't exceed that. Once you know your head circumference is like 22 or 23 inches, when you get 25 or 26, it will be too big. It will be too big. Please, just the measurement you use is like 22 or 23 inches. That will be good. That's a perfect measurement. Then you start your piping. I'll be using this to pipe it, or to pipe the beret. This is that velvet material that I use, so I'll be using this tip to pipe this place because I can't use that sequence part. The sequence part will be dragging someone's head, so I better use a fabric that will not drag the tip of someone's hair. All right, so this part is not stretchy. It is not stretchy. Remember, I measured the tip of the beret and I got 26 inches. So this material measures 26 inches by 2.5 inches width. 26 inches by 2.5 inches. So I'll be using it to pipe it, and watch the way I'll be doing it. Please, while doing this process, don't drag your material and don't be in a hurry, okay? Just take your time and make sure the material goes round. Guys, don't rush here and don't drag it. I don't know if you understand me. Just take your time. Remember, I measured this before cutting out the material and sewing. So just take your time and use your pin to hold it down before sewing with your sewing machine. So I'll continue to use my pin to guide the fabric, the pieces that I will be using for the band. So guys, I'm done sewing round with my sewing machine, and you remove your pins once you are done doing so. Okay guys, so you can see how the inside is neatly done. Yes, this is how yours should be. And next thing I'll now be doing now is to fold the remaining fabric. That's the last stage of piping. Yes, so watch closely the way I'll be doing it. Fold it first this way, then you fold again. Make sure it covers that stitch, that first stitch that you did. Make sure it covers it. I don't know if you get me. Please make sure when you fold, then you wrap it up again, so it will cover that first stitch. You continue with this process till you complete your piping method. Okay, please, while doing this, use your pin. It will really do a neat job for you. So fold and fold again, use your pin and hold down. Continue to do it till you get to the end of the beret. Then once you are done doing everything, now take it to your sewing machine and sew down. Alright guys, I'm done sewing. Please don't cut this video. I want to show you guys something. You can see the inside is neatly done and the outside is neatly done. I told you that when I finished this, it was quite big for me and I did an amendment. Please let me show you how I amended it to my size. I don't know if you can remember this pattern. Yes, the tip, I measured 3 inches, Abby. I measured 3 inches. I told you guys I measured 3 inches here. And it really affected mine because it's a stretchy fabric. So I would advise you, if you have a head circumference that is like 22 inches, 21 inches, please cut yours to be 2.5. So see where I did the amendment. This particular place, what I did is this. Watch and see the way I did the amendment. I folded this beret this way, then I sew from here to this point, just like 1 inch. Then after sewing, I folded it this way again and I sew it down. Watch and see the way I did this amendment. I fold this way, just sew like 1 inch from this point to here. You stop here, okay? Then once you are done doing that, you fold again. You fold again this way. Then you sew. So in case you have an oversized beret, or yours is like too big for you, do this and it will work for you. Thanks for staying up to this time. I love you all. See you next time.